Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing a what I eat in the day with you. This is a Whole30 style what I eat in the day. I am currently on a round of Whole30. So I start my morning off with a glass of lemon water pretty much every morning since the beginning of this year. I've been doing this and I have been loving it. I've noticed that if I start my morning with a glass of water, I tend to do better reaching my water goals throughout the day. And also the lemon just adds a nice flavor so I don't get bored of my water. I used to drink a cup of coffee first thing in the morning, and I've noticed when I do that, number one, I'm not that hungry, so I end up not eating breakfast, or I eat an unhealthy breakfast that's just really quick. And two, I end up not drinking enough water throughout the day. So starting my morning with lemon water is very important. And then I'm going to go ahead and move on to my breakfast. So every single morning since I've started Whole30, I pretty much do some sort of egg scramble. So I'll do veggies, lots of veggies, and then sometimes I'll put bacon in there or sausage and eggs. So for today's scramble, I'm doing some bacon on the side, and then I'm going to be doing some onion and some Brussels sprouts. And I am cooking that in a little bit of the bacon grease from the bacon. And that is going to be my plated fat. If you're not familiar with Whole30, you want about a hand size of protein and a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons, depending on your needs, of a healthy fat, as well as the rest of your plate with a lot of veggies. So this is going to be, the bacon is going to be my plated fat for this meal. For the eggs, I just went ahead and put 4 eggs in there. I'm going to be sharing this with my husband. And I also put a little bit of almond milk in there. I just think that the texture of the eggs is better with a little bit of milk in it. And then I also put some salt and pepper. So here is meal number 1. I've got my bacon, I have my egg scramble, and like I said, the bacon and also the milk will be my plated fats. It's really yummy, it keeps me really full, and is something I really enjoy. So now, of course, after I've had my breakfast, I need to have my coffee. You cannot have any sugar or cream on Whole30, which my coffees usually had a ton of sugar and a ton of cream. So instead, I put a 1/4 cup of nut pods, and then what I'm mixing up right now is just some coconut cream that I actually put in my KitchenAid, and I just whisked it for a little bit, and it turned into kind of like a whipped cream consistency. So I put both of those into my coffee, and then I'm going to use my immersion blender and just blend that all up. It definitely is not as sweet as I'm used to, but it's still really yummy, and you get used to it once you haven't had that much sugar in your diet. Moving on to lunch, we are going to make one of my favorite meals. This is my favorite even when I'm not on Whole30, except usually I use bread. But this is going to be avocado sweet potato toast. So normally I do avocado toast on bread, but since we can't have bread, I am just slicing some sweet potatoes really thin lengthwise, and then I'm going to use my air fryer and set it at the french fry setting and let those cook. And then while those are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and heat up some ghee in a pan. You can't have butter on Whole30, but you can have ghee, and that's like my absolute favorite out of like coconut oil, olive oil, all the oils that you can use. I love using ghee. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of that on my pan, and then I'm going to crack a couple eggs in there. Usually I do 1 egg and some kind of breakfast sausage, but I didn't have any more today, so instead I'm just going to do 2 eggs and let those cook up. And then while those are cooking, I'm going to take half of an avocado I had left over and I'm going to put it in a container and mash it up. And that is what I'm going to put on top of the sweet potatoes when they're done. Once the eggs are done, I'm going to go ahead and take them off the heat, and I'm flipping the sweet potatoes halfway through. In this small pot, I forgot to record it, but I went ahead and put some green beans in there. Sweet potato does count as a veggie, but I also felt like I needed more veggies on the side, so I decided to have some green beans. So once my sweet potatoes are done, I put the avocado on top, and then I'm going to put some of this everything but the bagel seasoning. And normally I would put sriracha on top of my avocado toast, but it has sugar in it. So instead I am using Crystal's hot sauce, and I'm just going to put that on top of the avocado and then put my eggs on top. And then, like I said, I'm going to serve that with a side of green beans, and this is meal number 2. So for our last meal, we are making another one of my favorites. It is buffalo chicken sweet potatoes. So in this pot, I have some Frank's Red Hot Sauce, coconut oil, and seasonings, and I'm just warming it up so that the coconut oil can melt into this sauce. And then in my crock pot, I am adding 4 chicken breasts. They are frozen. You can do frozen or thawed. I just forgot to take mine out. So I'm putting 4 chicken breasts into the crock pot. And then I'm going to go ahead and top that with the buffalo sauce and turn my crock pot on to low for 4 to 5 hours or high for about 1.5 hours. Later on in the day, once the chicken is almost done cooking, about an hour before it's done, I'm going to go ahead and wash some sweet potatoes and put those on a baking sheet. Go ahead and stab a few holes in there, and then I set this to 400 degrees for an hour. Once the chicken is cooked all the way through, go ahead and take it out of your crock pot. And then I just used a couple forks to shred it up, but you can shred it up however you need to. You're going to go ahead and shred up all of the chicken and put it back into the crock pot. And I went ahead and turned my crock pot down to warm at that point just to let the chicken kind of soak up the sauce, but I didn't want to overcook the chicken. So now that the chicken is almost done and my sweet potatoes are almost done, I'm going to go ahead and cut up some veggies for us to have on the side. I decided to serve this with some celery and carrots because whenever I have buffalo wings, that is what I like to have on the side. And this meal just kind of reminds me of that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up some celery and wash that and add some baby carrots. And then we're going to go ahead and have some Tessemae's ranch on the side to dip the veggies in. Now that the potatoes are all done, I'm going to go ahead and pull those out of the oven, and then you're just going to go ahead and cut it in half, open it up, put a spoonful of the buffalo chicken on top, And then I actually bought some buffalo ranch that I also put a little bit on top. And you can add a little bit more hot sauce if you want, and that's pretty much it. So that's going to be our last meal of the day. I try to have 3 meals. There's not really snacking on Whole30. However, sometimes if I do go to the gym, I will have like a fruit and peanut butter or something like that before my workouts. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more, and I will see you in my next one.